We're taught to look for the obvious signs, aren't we? A big smile, a loud laugh. But the truth is, the most powerful signals are the quietest, and it begins with the eyes. I'm not talking about a quick glance or a flirty look from across the bar. That's a game, and it's a game anyone can play. I'm talking about something far more potent, something she likely doesn't even know she's doing. It's the lingering gaze. Imagine you're at a friend's dinner party. There are 10 people at the table. The conversation is flowing, people are laughing, stories are being told. You're not trying to be the center of attention. You're just listening. Maybe you chime in with a thought, then you retreat back into your own head. You look up and you catch her eye from across the table. But she doesn't quickly look away in embarrassment. She doesn't give you a wide, performative smile. Instead, her eyes hold yours for just a second longer than is socially required. In that extra second, 1,000 words are exchanged. Her expression doesn't change much, but there's a softness, a genuine curiosity. It's a look that says, I'm not just seeing you sitting there, I'm trying to see inside. It's a moment of pure, unfiltered connection that cuts through all the noise. Most men miss this entirely. They get nervous, they look down, they assume it was an accident. They don't understand that this isn't an invitation to walk over and deliver a cheesy pickup line. It's a sign of deep resonance. Her subconscious mind has recognized something in you, something real and calming, and it has instructed her eyes to stay just a little while longer to gather more information. She's not just looking at you, she's reading the first page of a book she's suddenly desperate to finish. 2. The keeper of small things. A person's mind is a fortress. We only grant access to the things we deem important. Pay close attention to what a woman remembers about you because her memory is a map of what her heart values. You might think she'd only remember the big things, your job, the car you drive, a major accomplishment. But the woman who is secretly captivated by you operates on a different level. She becomes the curator of your insignificant details. 6 weeks ago, at a casual get-together, you mentioned in passing that you once tried to build a ship in a bottle but gave up because your hands were too clumsy. You told it as a self-deprecating joke and forgot about it instantly. Then, today, she sends you a link to an article about a master artisan who creates miniature worlds with a simple message. This made me think of you and your ship. It's a gesture so small it's almost seismic. Think about what had to happen. She heard your comment, and unlike everyone else who let it evaporate into the air, she caught it. She filed it away in that fortress of her mind, in a section reserved for you. For weeks, that small, seemingly useless piece of information sat there. Then, when she came across something related, a connection fired in her brain. She didn't just think, oh, that's neat. She felt a compulsion to share it, to bridge the gap between her world and that small, forgotten detail of yours. This is a sign of immense emotional investment. Remembering your birthday is what friends do. Remembering your hopes, your forgotten stories, and your clumsy attempts at building a ship in a bottle. That is the act of someone who's building a space for you inside her own mind, long before you ever have a clue she's doing it. 3. The champion of your flaws. Every man lives with a deep, private fear of his own inadequacies. Your flaws. The things you hope no one will ever notice. Maybe it's a slight stutter when you get nervous. Maybe it's an obsession with old maps that others find boring. Maybe it's a past failure that still stings you with shame. You work hard to hide these things, to present a more polished, perfect version of yourself to the world. And then you meet her. The sign here isn't that she tolerates your flaws. Tolerance is passive. What she does is active. She becomes their champion. Let's say you're in a group and you tell a joke. It's a bit quirky, a bit you, and it falls completely flat. Silence. You can feel your face flush and you immediately start backtracking, saying, well, anyway, trying to erase the moment. Later, when you're alone, she'll turn to you and say, with a completely sincere smile, you know, I love that joke you told earlier. It was so clever and unique. She didn't laugh with the crowd because there was no crowd. She saw the joke for what it was, a glimpse into the unique wiring of your brain, and she found it brilliant. When you apologize for being a bit quiet, she'll say, "I love that you're a listener. It's a rare quality." She doesn't see your quietness as a social defect. She sees it as a sign of strength and thoughtfulness. She's not trying to fix you or build you up. She is, in the most genuine way possible, telling you that the parts of yourself you have been conditioned to see as weaknesses are, in her eyes, the very cornerstones of your strength and your appeal. A woman who does this isn't just attracted to you. She understands you, and she is secretly fighting for you to understand yourself. 4. The unveiling. Vulnerability is the most precious currency in human connection. We spend our entire lives building walls to protect our softest, most fragile selves. We only show the world the battle-hardened stone, the confident exterior. A woman who is genuinely, deeply drawn to a man will offer him a glimpse behind that wall. She will perform an act I call the unveiling. This isn't about her complaining about a bad day at work. It's far more profound. It will happen unexpectedly. You'll be talking, maybe late at night, and there will be a pause in the conversation. Then she'll say something that starts with, "I don't really tell people this, but..." And she will share a story of a past hurt, an insecurity, a dream she gave up on. It won't be for sympathy. It will be a test and an offering. The test is to see how you will handle her truth. Will you be dismissive? Will you try to fix it? Or will you simply listen and hold that fragile part of her with respect? The offering is the story itself. She is handing you a piece of her soul, something she has guarded fiercely because something in her trusts you implicitly. I remember a friend of mine, a man who always felt he was too serious and intense. He was talking to a woman he admired, and she suddenly told him about her childhood fear of thunderstorms and how she still feels a little bit of that fear today. It wasn't a sob story. It was a simple, honest, vulnerable truth. In that moment, he said, the entire dynamic shifted. She wasn't just a beautiful woman anymore, she was a real person, and she had chosen to show him her reality. When a woman unveils a part of her hidden self to you, she is saying, "I see a safe harbor in you. I see a man worthy of my truth." This is one of the deepest signs of a secret crush, because it's not about liking your looks or your charm. It's about trusting your character. 5. The language of silence. Our society is terrified of silence. It's a vacuum we rush to fill with small talk, with questions, with noise. And awkward silence is a social death. Because of this, we've come to believe that a great connection is measured by endless, flowing conversation. But that's not the whole truth. The most powerful, most intimate connections are not measured by what is said, but by the silences that don't need to be filled. Think about it. You're with her. Maybe you're on a long drive, maybe you're sitting on a park bench watching the world go by, or maybe you're just in the same room, each doing your own thing, and the conversation just stops. But there is no panic. There's no frantic search for a new topic. There's no anxiety. There is only a calm, comfortable, shared space. It's a peaceful stillness. You can feel her presence without needing her to say a word, and she can feel yours. This is incredibly rare. To be able to sit in silence with someone without feeling the need to perform is to be truly seen and accepted. It's like a friend once told me about a woman he was falling for. They went for a hike, and for a full hour of walking through the woods, they barely spoke. He said he was more connected to her in that hour of shared quiet footsteps and breathing than he had ever been with anyone in hours of frantic, witty conversation. That shared silence is a sanctuary. It means, my nervous system is calm with you. I don't need to impress you. I don't need to entertain you. My soul can simply exist next to yours. A secret crush often blossoms in these quiet moments because it's in the silence that she can truly feel the essence of who you are, without the distraction of words. It is the ultimate sign of soul-level comfort. 6. The mirror of your light. We've all been taught to make a woman laugh, to impress her with our stories. But what if the most powerful sign of her attraction isn't her reaction to your performance, but her reaction to your authenticity? This is the sign I call the mirror of your light. It happens when you forget she's even there. You start talking about something you are genuinely passionate about. It could be anything. The intricate plot of a sci-fi novel, the way a car engine works, a complex problem you're solving at work, the memory of a trip that changed you. You're not trying to be impressive. You are simply lost in your own world, your own light. Your guard is down, your eyes are alive, and your voice is filled with a pure, unforced energy. When you finally pause and look back at her, you expect to see her looking bored or waiting for her turn to speak. But instead, you see a specific kind of smile on her face. It's not a big, toothy grin. It's a soft, gentle, almost mesmerized smile. She's not smiling at what you said. She is smiling at you. She is smiling at the light she sees pouring out of you in that moment. It's a look of pure admiration, not for the topic, but for the passion itself. She is seeing the real, unguarded you, the little boy inside who is still fascinated by the world, and she is captivated by it. I saw this once at a cafe. A man was explaining the rules of a ridiculously complex board game to his friend. He had diagrams, he was animated, completely lost in his element. A woman at the next table wasn't even trying to hide it. She was just watching him with this incredibly warm, fond smile. She wasn't attracted to the game, she was attracted to the fire in him. When you see that smile, that mirror to your own inner light, know that you have shown her something very few people ever get to see. And she is secretly treasuring it. 7. The orbit of your stillness. This is the final sign, and it is the most profound. It synthesizes all the others. We live in a world that tells men to be hunters, to pursue, to chase, to be loud and proactive. But the most attractive men, the ones who inspire a deep, almost spiritual crush, possess a different kind of power. It's not the power of the chase, it's the power of gravity. It is the orbit of your stillness. Imagine yourself at a loud, chaotic party. Men are peacocking, telling loud stories, trying to be the sun that everyone revolves around. But you're not playing that game. You are the calm center. You're leaning against a wall, observing, having a quiet one-on-one conversation, or just enjoying your own drink. You possess a quiet, self-contained confidence. You are not needy. You do not require the room's approval. Now watch what happens. Over the course of the night, notice how she and often others will naturally, almost unconsciously, drift into your space. She'll find a reason to get a drink near you. Her conversation with her friends will slowly migrate closer to your corner of the room. It's like a planetary system. The loudest, most chaotic objects might make a lot of noise, but everything ultimately is drawn to the quiet, steady mass at the center. Your stillness, your lack of neediness, your grounded presence. That is your mass. That is your gravity. A friend described this perfectly. He said, "I used to try to be the life of the party, and I was always exhausted, and I usually went home alone. The day I gave up and just decided to be myself, to be calm and just talk to people I actually found interesting, was the day I felt women started coming to me. They aren't consciously thinking, 'I'm going to go stand next to the quiet guy.' Her subconscious is seeking a safe, stable harbor in a sea of noise. Your stillness is a signal of immense inner strength, and that is the most powerfully attractive force on earth. You don't need to chase. Your only job is to build your own solid ground, to become that center of gravity. And without a single word, you will find her wanting to enter your orbit.